Live from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype, it's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Co-host, Ed Kaluka. Featuring dangerous Dan Margetta. And Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
And welcome to the program. We race on a brand new track, Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. This has been the site of the U.S. Grand Prix, right, gentlemen?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
A couple years now.
And it's a big, beautiful racetrack, 3.41 miles in length. It'll
Beauty?
be
You called it beauty?
Isn't it?
No, it's not beautiful. It sucks.
Oh, really? Well, tell me what's wrong with the racetrack.
Well, what's wrong with the racetrack? It looks like it's built in the middle of a plowed field because there's absolutely no trees, no people anywhere near the track.
Scenic. You're right. I'm talking about the track, though.
And the track itself is nowhere near as competitive as Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. The track is too wide. It's too simple. There's not enough passing points. It's a terrible racetrack for these cars.
Oh,
in my opinion.
It didn't put on a very good show for the Xfinity series, did it?
Well, let's see. The difference in the Xfinity race yesterday, 9 seconds back to second, 11 back to third, 14 back to fourth, 16 back to fifth, and 18 back to sixth. That was the gap to the top six cars. And it's just... It's not a good racetrack.
All right.
Give me 3 Elkhart Lakes compared to this one. Sure, It's got pretty painting and a big tower, and other than that, it sucks.
Yeah. I wonder if that had anything to do, if this race had anything to do with our buddy Eddie Gossage announcing that he's stepping down up the street over there in Fort Worth. Maybe not.
I think his time has just passed.
Yeah, that's probably true too. They had practice. William Byron was fastest in practice. Joey Logano was second. Kyle Larson was third. Kyle Busch was fourth. And Chase Elliott was fifth. Speaking of Kyle Busch, he is the one that won that Xfinity race on the road course yesterday. And Todd Gilliland won in the trucks. So they did get a chance yesterday to run a couple of races at this track. And
in the rain.
Yeah, in the rain.
One in the rain, one in the trucks in the rain, Xfinity in the dry.
But it's really the story of the weekend because it's supposed to rain today. There's
it will.
40% chance, and there's showers in the area right now.
I'll take that to 100% rain for this race.
This is okay. They said 6 sets of tires, Ed.
Yeah, 6 sets of slicks. I think 1 or 2 sets of...
It's 5, actually. 5 sets of rain tires.
Oh, 5 sets of rain tires?
And 6 sets of slicks. Do they bring that many wheels with them?
Yeah, Champion Tire. The Champion Tire brings all the wheels and tires to the racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
Not the tires, excuse me. They bring all the wheels to the racetrack. And the team tells them so much the time before the event on how many wheels they need them to bring. And they have like 5 tractor truckloads of wheels. They bring all of the toolboxes, all the pit boxes.
Pit carts that's their responsibility, right, Champion?
Everything comes from Champion Wheel.
Oh.
It's a company that I started, by the way.
Oh, cool. They I've seen them in action. They when the race is over, the teams just leave their pit carts, lay on pit road, and everybody has gone home. The haulers are all gone, and the Champion guys come and they load them all up. Pretty interesting to watch. But so this race coverage starts right here on the Big 920 at 12:30 today. The green flag is at 1:43. It will be televised on Fox Sports 1, and the lineup will be to be determined. this is one of the new tracks along with Road America that they've decided is, let's expand and do some road course racing and these two new road courses. I just got done watching the Formula One race at Monaco, and to Ed's point, God, there is just no passing at Monaco whatsoever. And here, Ed, it's going to just have to be after caution flags, right?
Well, no, there's plenty of room to pass here. There's, capable cars. There'll be comers and goers. It's not like Monaco. Monaco is a one-groove racetrack where you can't get two cars side by side. I mean, at this racetrack, when they drop the green flag, you'll see them go 5 wide.
Yeah, Monaco's such a tight street circuit that comes into play here. This place has got some passing lanes. It's not as it's probably more technical, I think, than Road America. Road America is kind of a faster road course, which is a little more high speed and a lot more better passing points, I think. If you can see some of the places, these cars run way off course here. There's a couple runoffs on some turns, and they're not even close to being on the racetrack. They have such a wide runoff. You don't get that at Road America because you don't have those tight of corners for a big, heavy car like this. So there are some places that they can pass here. It's just it's a 20-turn, more, I think, tight technical course than Road America is. And I'm not sure how that's going to suit the heavy cars.
And we have to remember that this place was built specifically for Formula One. When they laid this course out, this is, I think it's 9 years old now. They wanted to build a place for Formula One to race in the United States because Indianapolis wasn't going to work anymore. So they designed this track for Formula One cars. So anything other than Formula One that runs on this track, it's really not what it was designed for. So that's why you see it so wide. That's why you see all the paint in the spots. That's why you see the big, tall grandstands on each side of the front straightaway and the goofy garages they have there. It's built for Formula One. So it's kind of different. Road America, Mid-Ohio, Road Atlanta, all those tracks were just built for road courses, and they didn't have a specific series in mind. And that's kind of why this place looks a little different than most of the road courses you see in the United States.
NASCAR's most accomplished road racer, Chase Elliott, is the prohibitive favorite today. Dan, I guess he must be the number one guy for all you fantasy people, right?
I think he is right now. He's won 4 of the last 5 road course races. So, I mean, you look at it that way. They've never been here before, so who knows? And this year, season's been okay. Hendrick's been strong, but they haven't been able to close the deal on the 9 car and get a win yet. So maybe this will be the place to do it. But yeah, he's one of the favorites. I think Martin Truex is probably a good favorite. He's a good road racer here. I'd watch Kyle Busch too. I mean, he did really well in an Xfinity race and seems to be able to adapt to places like this. Mm-hmm. I think Kurt Busch might have had some laps here already before. Did he do a tire test here? So I wonder if that might come into play too.
Might help him, right?
Well,
and don't forget Seabell.
I'll tell you my top 6 right now for my fantasy league would be the 18 of A.J. Allmendinger, the 8 of Tyler Reddick, the 33.
Hang on. Allmendinger's in a 16, not the 18.
Allmendinger's in the 16.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 16. 8, Tyler Reddick. 33, Austin Cindric, whatever his name is.
Cindric, I like that.
Yeah, Cindric. Kyle Larson and Elliott Chase. Okay. And Joey Logano. Those are my top 6.
Why give away your secrets when you're actually second in your league, Ed?
There's other things you have to do to get more points.
And yeah, that's where you're going to get your points today?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there are a couple of road race ringers. Austin Cindric is going to be one of them in the 33 car. A.J. Allmendinger, like Ed mentioned, in the 16, and a British guy from Bath, England, by the name of Kyle Tilley, although he's going to be driving one of those back marker cars, the number 78.
Doesn't have a chance.
Doesn't have a chance.
No chance.
But, he gets to compete, and apparently that's a big deal. Guys are really happy they get to compete and finish in the back. It's a deal, I guess.
Yes, I did, Aaron. You're 100% right.
That's
Aaron.
crazy, Ed. Your top 6 that you pick are the top 6 in practice. You're just amazing.
You're right, Aaron.
Ed's he's on top of it. You can't hold that against him. We'll be back.
Spring is in the air, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need, with fresh mulch arriving daily, from premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to Enviro mulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
It's a red, white, and blue weekend of family fun as Road America hosts the NASCAR Cup Series July 1st through the 4th in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 4 huge days of stock cars featuring the NASCAR Cup, Henry 180 Xfinity, and Trans Am Series. Camp on site and catch every lap. Enjoy fan activities including autograph sessions and free family fun zone. And free admission for youth 16 and under. Get your printed home tickets today before they sell out at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company in the heart of Wisconsin is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
This May, 33 drivers will defy everything for 200 grueling laps in a race for immortality.
Drivers, start your engine!
The NTT IndyCar Series is back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500, whose face will adorn the BorgWarner Trophy this year. Hear the race live Sunday, May 30th on this IMS Radio Network station.
Milwaukee's home for IndyCar and NASCAR, the Big 920 and Big920.com.
Well, this has been a week. I tell you, we got a big one dropped on us this weekend. I know you've heard it, but we got to talk about what this all means. Brad Keselowski was offered ownership in Roush Fenway Racing, similar to how ownership was offered to Tony Stewart, and that team turned around. Now, these are a couple of Michigan guys, all right? Brad is from Michigan. Roush is from Livonia, Michigan. This is almost a logical thing to do. I wonder whose idea it was. But just to put Brad Keselowski in an ownership role, he has talked about it. Dan, I've heard him say that he wanted to make sure he had some kind of ownership role in the future because he doesn't want to, when his days are over, he wants to be involved with NASCAR.
It seems like that's the way he was going. I mean, he had the truck team for a while that eventually got shut down, but he's got a really successful 3D printing business going on right now. So if he wants to stick around, it makes sense the way to do it. And you think about Roush, they lost Carl Edwards and they kept him 1 year and didn't Ford offer him some kind of like stock or something like that to keep him. They didn't keep Matt Kenseth. They didn't go this route at all and try that hard to keep him. And Roush kind of just fell apart the last couple of years, it seems. And Brad's a guy that could probably do it. I think he's not dumb. I mean, he's smart enough to make things work, make that other business work on outside of racing. So I think he could make it go. The thing that bothers me the most about this though is that Steve Newmark guy is still there. It seems like ever since that guy came to Roush, it's kind of been a problem. And I don't know who inner workings of that place. I have no idea what goes on there. But just historically looking back, it seems when he was part of the equation, things started going downhill. And if he's still going to be there, I don't know how it's going to work.
Well, that would be my biggest question. How will him and Brad, work together? Is that even possible, or is that someone Brad would?
It's real simple, guys. Real simple. When Brad walks in the door, he'll look over at Newmar and say, "You're fired."
Well, that would be perfect.
Yeah, we don't know exactly why that team fell apart. I mean, none of us are fans of Newmark. But,
yeah, we do.
But that is why that's as big a reason as why Matt Kenseth left. He'll never tell you that, but that is as big a reason why he left there as any. And
how about Robbie Reiser?
Reiser
shows up to work one day, and Newmar says you're no longer needed, and all of a sudden, the Livonia office calls Newmar and says you can't fire him. He has a contract. We'll have to pay him for another year. So then Newmar says, okay, I can't fire you, but you're going to have an office over there and you'll show up every day.
Interesting.
That's how Newmar works.
Look at how by the way, his name is Newmark. Let's look at what this all means for the driving end of it. Supposedly, this means that, Brad will be in the number 6 car. What happens to Ryan Newman? And then what happens to the legendary number 2 car? Austin Cindric was supposed to drive the 21 car for Guido next year. The way it looks, this means De Benedetto would stay in that car and Cindric would go to the number 2 car next year. Ryan Newman is kind of in limbo. He's not a young man. He doesn't really bring sponsorship money, but he is an accomplished racer. But nobody's doing much in the 6 car. It reminds me so much of what that team, what the 414 cars were doing before Tony Stewart got there. Like Robbie told us one time, it's all about the people. You can only spend so much money on cars. It's all about the people. And when Tony Stewart got over there, he brought in the best people. And hopefully Brad Keselowski will be able to attract some folks that will be an upgrade to Roush Fenway Racing. Now, I don't know.
And in 2022, it's even going to be more important about the people because the cars are all identical.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. I don't know very much about the engineers that are over there right now. If that's what the problem is, I don't think they're skimping very much on equipment, I would think, right? I mean,
Newmar does not pay people like he should.
And look at Roush in the years when they were really good. They had an Xfinity team. Hell, they even had truck teams back in the day when Biffle and Edwards. That's where they came from. Their truck program. Roush doesn't have anything in the lower ranks anymore. They're not bringing anybody up, so they're not getting people groomed back in the truck in the Xfinity series and bringing them up to the Cup series. I don't know what they're using over there, but they're probably using retreads from teams that couldn't use these people anymore.
Well, you could say that about Ford as a whole, though, couldn't you?
The industry. You bring along people that have money. They don't necessarily need talent. And it's true for any of these major teams. Bring some money with you or be able to attract a major sponsor. Why do you think Bubba got into that 23 car? Because he had a long line of sponsors that he brought with him, and that'll put you into a car. I'm not sure Brad has very many sponsors. However, it would be easy to attract a sponsor having Brad Keselowski in the car with an ex-champion pedigree and a solid resume of running up front every year, wins races. That means a lot when you're looking for a sponsor, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, it's performance based. I mean, you look at it. Fastenal said they're going to stick around for a couple of years, and they have Buescher. Buescher's a pretty good driver. I think they got a good guy right there that they can build off him and give him something to drive.
Mm-hmm.
What happens to Ryan Newman? Does he retire now, or does Brad take over the 6 car, or do you want a 3rd car? That's another question that's out there too. I mean, Newman hasn't said much what's going on next year, and I don't think he has a contract.
And it wouldn't be foreign to Brad. Brad has experience. He had a truck team. Truck team's been closed a couple of years now, but they were a very successful truck team when he did run it. So he's got experience owning teams and knowing what takes place in a little bit smaller role than a Cup Series team, but he has some experience in that.
And like Ed mentioned, he owns a company called CAM, which is a...
It was Dan that mentioned that.
Oh, okay. It's a 3D printing company, and he has been in management roles in the past, and I think that's the real key here because, I think leadership is part of the problem over there. None of us have been fans of Steve Newmark since he's been in charge of Roush Fenway.
Who runs that company that he works for?
Which one? The Keselowski company?
Yeah.
Well, that's Robbie's been working there. Robbie Reiser works there.
And where's he going to go?
Yeah, well, there's another. I mean, I'd love to see Robbie follow Keselowski back over to Roush and kick ass, take names, and take Newmark's place, actually. And he has a working relationship with the new co-owner, or what looks like will be the new co-owner. Probably take over by the end of the year, wouldn't you think? It seems like. So, what a huge story this would be. A way of attracting one of the best drivers to get away from Penske and put him in an ownership role. It makes sense. Jack Roush is 79 years old. How much longer does he want the stress of running the organization himself before he starts to back out and just becomes a what they call chairman of the board and let this go the way it's going to go? It's a great idea, a great opportunity for Brad Keselowski, that's for sure. We'll be back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
It's a red, white, and blue weekend of family fun as Road America hosts the NASCAR Cup Series July 1st through the 4th in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 4 huge days of stock cars featuring the NASCAR Cup, Henry 180 Xfinity, and Trans Am Series. Camp on site and catch every lap. Enjoy fan activities including autograph sessions and free family fun zone. And free admission for youth 16 and under. Get your printed home tickets today before they sell out at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
The Arkham Menard Series.
And the field fans out, racing for the lead to turn 1.
Side by side, they are leaning on each other.
Is back at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Side by side, they race down the back straightaway and into turn number 3.
The future stars of NASCAR battling in the Queen City.
The 17-year-old driver trying to go to victory lane here tonight.
It's the General Tire 150.
Saturday, coverage starts at 6 p.m. on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR, the Big 920 and Big920.com.
Ed, this is it's been pretty big news in the short track world. I don't know if there's any ramifications when it comes to NASCAR whatsoever, but it appears that there is a huge tire shortage for short track tires, and it's becoming a big issue.
It's big. It's just huge, and it's all kinds of problems are happening right now. Apparently, they don't have the proper help that they need at Hoosier to compete and build tires, and there's also a shortage of material. They say nylon is what they're missing from their mix, but anybody that's in the manufacturing business on any level, from building a garage to putting up a house or buying steel or rubber or any.
What the hell is going on?
Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe has got this country so screwed up.
All right, leaving politics out of it.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's what it is.
Employment obviously is a problem. They have to have people.
Well, sure,
to
they
make
can't
tires
find employees because the employees are paid by the government to stay home. They're getting $500 a week unemployment. And all this Kool-Aid that's pouring out of Washington, nobody wants to work anymore. So I can't stay up out of the politics because that's what they've got going on.
Now, there's a raw material problem too,
Yes,
right?
and that raw material problem is also a part of his problem because he opened up the doors to China. So the companies here in the United States who are doing good business, making good money, are now competing with China again, and they've cut back on what they're producing because they can't compete financially across the ocean. Yes, it all has to do with Sleepy Joe and the whole darn thing. But now, as far as Hoosier Tire is concerned, they've also put out an edict to all competitors, all teams, all track owners. They should consider cutting the distance of their racings. They should cut back on the length of their features so that they can run tires, repeat them for another time. Well, if you got a 3-tire series, I don't care if you run 60 laps, 75 laps, the following week, if you run 30 laps, nobody's going to put those same tires on again unless you have to. Now, Rich Bickle, he said that there was a conversation at the last race to run it without an 8-tire race, run it with 4 tires. Rich said, that's great with me. I think we should run these 200-lap races on one set of tires. These guys would learn how to conserve their rubber and how to compete. The tires aren't going to blow out. There's enough on them to run another distance. And then the people who are getting tires, like they used to get so many rights and so many lefts, okay? Now the rights and lefts are all the same size. Stagger is a problem. Getting tires to these teams is a problem. And then you take a group like Todd Thielen, they, as a track owner, have a hard time getting tires for their trucks to sell to their racers, where the tour people that I know, Todd never said anything about this, I know it, that the guys who have the tours are getting preference over the track owners. And that is a problem.
Also,
these promoters that have a series that go to a track owner and say, I'd like to run my series at your racetrack. And it's the old Arco deal where, McCarnes would show up with a pop-up trailer and a briefcase and rent your racetrack and run his series. Well, that's what I'm talking about. That kind of a group is getting tires preferably over the tracks.
Now, Ed, I have read where some tracks are hoarding tires. They're worried about this being an issue.
They heard about what's happening, and they've doubled their orders. I'll give you an example. Bill Tandusky spins steel wheels for trucks, okay? He has a company he builds 800 wheels for. That company, he told that company, I can't get that material right now. It's got to come from China. It's going to take me a while to get it. What they do, they doubled his order. And then he's had they tripled their order. And that's what these teams are doing. The track owners say, well, I better get my whole, if I'm financially able, instead of buying that 400 that I need for half the season, I'm going to buy 800 for the whole season. Yes, it's a problem. Yes.
I just can't imagine. There's so many shortages, like Ed mentioned. There's steel shortages. Did you say you bought one?
I didn't buy it. I walked into Menards. I was going to buy a 4x8 sheeted 1/4-inch plywood. I walked over by the shelf, and I said $70
for one sheet.
One single sheet of plywood, $70. I mean, if you had a house, if you had a house,
to build anything,
if you had a house roughed in, put up the structure, when the other guy was still in office, was $7,500 for a 3-bedroom to rough it in. Today, that same house is almost $20,000.
So roughly 3 times.
Yes.
It's not like we're short on trees or anything. I mean, we got plenty of trees around here. It's labor costs. It's out of hand right now. And, you go from a virus to now you have this problem.
You people better wake up out there. That's all I'm telling you.
What are you going to do? You got to wait 3 more years. That's for sure.
Oh, you could do it. You could do it faster than that. There's an election coming up to year 2022.
Yeah, that's a thought. Geez, you're just not painting a very pretty picture. Why are there so many shortages right now? It just doesn't make sense to me.
It's a lot of it is it's a ripple effect of what happened. So last year, when a lot of things were shut down, all these factories shut down. They shut down for a couple months, and now you're seeing that ripple effect carry on down the line because, if you're working in a factory and making a product today, you're probably not seeing that stuff for months down the road. It's a cycle. It's like an assembly line too. If the person down here isn't doing their part, it's not going to finish out down here on that end. And that's what we're seeing
now.
Now
The people that are down there who were laid off are not wanting to come back to work.
Exactly. Yep.
Several states are ending unemployment so that people want to get back to work.
I like one of the comments on our Facebook page. One of our listeners said, "Here's a perfect opportunity for Slinger Racer Jerry Eckhart to have a class on how to work with old tires."
Yes. We'll show you how to run on old rubber.
Unbelievable. We'll be back.
It's a red, white, and blue weekend of family fun as Road America hosts the NASCAR Cup Series July 1st through the 4th in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 4 huge days of stock cars featuring the NASCAR Cup, Henry 180 Xfinity, and Trans Am Series. Camp on site and catch every lap. Enjoy fan activities including autograph sessions and free family fun zone. And free admission for youth 16 and under. Get your printed home tickets today before they sell out at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
It's going to be live.
Elliott's to the inside of Hamlin for the lead. It's almost 3 wide, exiting turn 6.
It's going to be loud.
Got multiple problems here. Turn number 8, Ty Dillon spins. Denny Hamlin spins in turn 7.
And you know it's going to be authentically Austin.
Elliott gets to the inside. Only washes up, and Chase Elliott will go to the point in turn 6.
The inaugural Echo Park Texas Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas.
Coverage starts coming up at 12:30 right here on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR, the Big 920 and Big920.com.
If you would like to participate in our discussion, you can call 414-421-7901. This has stirred up some debate on social media, but we would certainly love to hear from you. Just give us a call, and we will talk about all of that. Today, coverage for the Circuit of the Americas NASCAR first ever race in Austin, Texas. The coverage begins here in the Big 920 at 12:30 today. The green is at 1:43. And speaking of tires, Ed, today, 6 sets of tires for slicks, right?
Yes.
And 5 sets of rain tires. That's pretty incredible, don't you think?
Yes, I think so. But they're going to need them. I'm pretty sure they're going to need them.
Now,
and it turns all the strategy and everything upside down. It might even be a more interesting race if this rain does come.
And it looks as though it is. I mean, there's a pretty good chance for rain here this afternoon.
And the segments are 15, 32, 68.
231 total miles.
231 miles, just 68 laps.
Yeah.
And the fuel load goes for 21 to 25 laps for fuel load, depending upon how you got your computer set. So the first segment's no problem at all to make it through that. In fact, you might see people stay out for the first segment. I doubt it, but and get it, because if you were a road course race, you'd normally run it backwards by the length of the fuel load. Okay, but now segment racing has changed all that. But the fuel window does open at lap 44. Anybody that pits after 44 can comfortably make it to the end. So you have to figure that into your calculations, your strategy, that you have enough fuel to make it to the end at that stop. But the tires, to fall off on the tires, it was hard to really get a handle on what was happening there. And it didn't seem like there was a huge fall off in the tires. Where, in other words, if 10 cars stayed out and you came in after running 20 laps in your tires, I don't think you'd be able to come from 20th and take the lead. So
strategy is such a big part of how this all works on road course racing, and of course, it's a great thing to add a little strategy, and that's one of the reasons you're listening to your computer completely through the race, right, Ed?
Yes. To just watch it.
I mean, it's actually become a bigger issue on every race. I mean, it seems like strategy has been the way right now. Things are kind of tight that to get your advantage, you almost have to have some kind of strategy and maybe a pit worker or a crew chief that knows when to do the right thing to advance your positions, not only during pit stops, but even during adjustments and everything else. I mean, strategy has become a lot more important, I think, lately than it has been before.
And it definitely is. It's a engineer's race. Engineers are getting all this data off of these cars, knowing what the driver is capable of doing in the car, how far they can push him. It's just so mind-boggling. The information that's flowing off these cars today compared to the non-bump stop old days of cars, throttle positioning, braking positioning, how much pressure is on the brake itself, steering wheel position, GPS on the racetrack, shadowing one car over another car. I mean, when you get back to that garage, back to your shop for your Monday meeting, they'll shadow your car and show you where you were making mistakes on the line that you were running compared to the fast line on the racetrack. I mean,
I don't know. Remember the day, doesn't seem all that long ago, that NASCAR wanted to avoid high tech as much as they could.
Well, they got in bed with it now.
Yeah, you almost have to. Everything's going that way. I mean, tech is such a big deal in everything. But now next year when the new cars come out, they're all more equal. I think that's going to change some things as well that way, as far as having to have the right guy in the pits to make the calls, because everybody's going to be equal that way. But earlier today in the Monaco race at F1, which is weird, it's today and not on Memorial Day weekend, but there was an issue on a pit stop, and we were watching that, Ed, and you brought something up that they may have an issue next year in Cup with this.
It's something you very rarely see, but the Formula One car that was running, it was a Mercedes, one of the top Mercedes. There's only two Mercedes, three. Anyhow, a Mercedes that's a top flight team had a problem with a cross thread on the right front tire, took them out of the race because they couldn't get the nut off, and the tires were wore out. That's the same system that's going to be used in Cup. You cross thread one of those nuts, you're done for the day.
Imagine. And this is, it hasn't happened very often though, right, Ed?
No, Brian, I've never seen it even in sports.
No, I haven't either. In IndyCar and IMSA and, all the overseas stuff, they've been using that for years. Formula One's been using it for years, and I never seen it. And Ed, you're older than all of us, and you've never seen it either, right?
No.
Well, it used to be you had 5 lug nuts. If you stripped one, you could still race with 4. Not if this happens, too bad. The race is over for you. And, oddly. So what are we looking for today, guys? Are we going to start seeing pit stops earlier than these segments, just so we can be out of sync and therefore have something ready to go at the end?
First one's only 15 laps, so the second one is out to lap 32.
17 laps.
Yeah, but you're in the fuel window, right, Dan?
Yeah, but what's going to really make it interesting is what the rain does, what the weather does. I mean, if you get a downpour, you have to come in and put those rain tires on, or you're going to be sliding all over the place. If it's just half a track is wet and the other half is dry and it doesn't soak the whole place down, now you're in a dilemma, because those rain tires will work in the wet stuff, but they'll wear out quickly, I think, in the dry. You can't run much on them. You'll get eaten up by the guys on slicks.
And they're slow.
Right. So I think the weather is going to be a big factor in this. And if we have rain, if it doesn't cover the whole racetrack, whoever guesses right on the tire selection is going to have a big advantage.
Well, and also it puts the advantage in a real amount of talent. You take a guy like A.J. Allmendinger, who has so much experience on road courses in the wet and the dry. Austin Cindric seems to be that way too. Kyle Busch seems got natural talent. The 5 car, unbelievable talent no matter what the conditions are. So take a guy like Harvick, who needs a really good race car to show his talents. it has a hard time carrying the water when it's not a good race car. Where these other guys take a bad car and can carry it, them are the ones that are going to excel today.
I know you mentioned the 18, Ed, but don't forget the 19 and the 20.
That's another guy. Truex has got a lot of talent when the car is right. But when it's not right, he's bad.
And don't forget, the first time they raced at the Daytona Road Course, who was your winner? But Christopher Bell, noted dirt track racer. I mean, wow.
And that's the kind of talent you need in a day like today when you're going to have all these. Just look at the. Never mind. The sky is dark, okay?
Yes, it is. Unbelievable. We got some results for you when we come back.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
It's a red, white, and blue weekend of family fun as Road America hosts the NASCAR Cup Series July 1st through the 4th in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 4 huge days of stock cars featuring the NASCAR Cup, Henry 180 Xfinity, and Trans Am Series. Camp on site and catch every lap. Enjoy fan activities including autograph sessions and free family fun zone. And free admission for youth 16 and under. Get your printed home tickets today before they sell out at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
Spring is in the air, and PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need, with fresh mulch arriving daily, from premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to Enviro mulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit pmflandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years, PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
The NASCAR Camping World Truck Series.
Green flag is in the air. We are underway at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Returns to Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Austin Hill just opens it up, buries it down to the inside.
The tough trucks going toe-to-toe at America's home for racing.
Chase Elliott wins the North Carolina Education Lottery 200.
It's the North Carolina Education Lottery 200.
Friday night coverage starts at 7 o'clock on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR, the Big 920 and Big920.com.
Schmidt.
Now the LTN Hour presents Dirt on the Dirt with Brian Schmidt.
Lots of racing action going on this week. We'll start Thursday night in Indianapolis, Indiana, a brand new racetrack, something we don't see much these days, but it's kind of cool to see. A brand new track called Circle City Raceway. It's on the Marion County Fairgrounds on the intersection of 465 and 74 in Indianapolis. They open up with the All-Star Circuit of Champion 410 Sprint Cars, 8,000 to win. Tyler Courtney was your feature winner there. Our own Bill Baylog finished 5th, and Scotty Thiel was running up front but had a cut tire. He finished 15th. Friday night, we had several rainouts in the area. Seymour, Menominee, Jim Falls, and Mississippi Thunder all rained out. They did race up in Chilton at the Gravity Park Speedway. The modified winner was Tyler Wilson. The IMSA stock car winner was Sean Jr., and the Grand Nationals was Tim Dowling. Up in Superior, Wisconsin, the Gondik Law Speedway, they raced up there. The Wissota late model feature winner there was Darrell Nelson, and the modifieds was Brandon Kopp. Kankakee, Illinois, the Mars Dirt Car late model series was there, 5,000 to win in the Big Daddy Scrap 40. A cool name. Brian Shirley was your winner there. Farley, Iowa, the 300 Raceway, the Lucas Oil late model dirt series made their annual trek there, 12,000 to win. Mike Marlar was your winner. Port Royal, Pennsylvania, the World of Outlaw Morton Buildings late model series, Chris Madden picked up the win. Night number 2 in Indianapolis at the Circle City Raceway for the All-Star Circuit of Champion 410 Sprints. 10,000 to win. Tyler Courtney won again. This was a non-wing guy. This is only like his second year running a wing sprint car, and he's really got it going on. Scotty Thiel had his career best 4th. He finished 4th in the feature there, and Bill Balog was 8th. In Attica, Ohio, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars were there. David Gravel was your winner. Last night at Plymouth, the MSA 360 Sprint Car feature winner was Brandon McMullen. His father, Tim, is a loyal listener to our program, so congratulations to him on the win. In the late models, Jim Schmidt picked up the win, and the Grand Nationals was Dan Source. Francis Crick, the 141 Speedway, another stellar night of car. 175 cars there, 6 divisions. In the modifieds, Tim Cerneski was your winner, and the Grand Nationals was Rick Gustafson, and the stock cars was Benji Lacrosse. Shawano in the late models, Gunnar Frank. This is a kid that's only his 2nd year ever in a super late model. His father, Todd's been racing him forever. He picked up the feature win, his first ever. Congratulations to him. In the modifieds, it was Johnny Whitman, and the stock cars was Chummy Arneson. Wilmont, the IRA wingless sprints, Ryan Marshall was your winner, and the modifieds was Chris Carlson. Beaver Dam, the IRA 410 sprints were there. Mike Reinke got a win. He hasn't won a race in a long time. Congratulations to him. I think it's probably been 3 or 4 years since he last won a IRA race, so he picked up the win last night. New Richmond, Wisconsin, the Cedar Lake Speedway. Daryl Nelson won in the late models, and the limited late models was Dylan Kromschrader, and the modifieds was Ashley Anderson. Rice Lake, the WISSOTA modified feature winner was Kevin Buzzy Adams. Gas City, Indiana, the I-69 Speedway, the All-Star Circuit of Champions, continued their 4-race swing. They finished tonight with the big Race Rudine Foundation 26,000 to win race. It was a race that was run last year at Plymouth. That'll be tonight at Kokomo. But last night at I-69 Speedway, Cap Henry was your winner. Bill Balog finished 3rd. He's getting close. He's going to win one of these All-Star races pretty soon. And Scotty Thiel finished 6th. Port Royal, Pennsylvania, the World of Outlaw Morton's Buildings late models. Chris Madden completed the sweep there. And finally, this is probably the best feel-good story of the weekend. Sharon, Ohio, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars were there. First time in several years since they raced there. And coming to on the last lap, Sheldon Haudenschild was your winner. Dave Blaney was running 2nd. Dave Blaney passed him on the last lap and picked up the win. Dave Blaney hadn't won a World of Outlaw race since, I believe, 94. So congratulations. Former Cup Series driver, Dave Blaney. Sheldon was, Ed, what was it? Is he 2 years old?
4 years old.
4 years old.
4 years old when last time he won. But Blaney also owns the racetrack.
Yes. Yeah. But very cool to see Dave pick up a win. One for the old guys, as they say.
And that's it.
That is it.
Tyler Reddick has won the pole for today's Circuit of the Americas race first time. His time was 2:12.91. I didn't know that they didn't really give a speed for that, but congratulations.
The speed was 92.362.
There we go. And thanks for that, Ed. First ever pole for Tyler Reddick today at Austin, Texas. So congratulations. In asphalt racing, starting Thursday at State Park Speedway in Wausau, Brock Heinrich won in the super late models. Also Thursday up at WIR in the super lates, Alex Stumpf held off Grant Griesbach for his win. In the late models, it was Nate Van Wyken, your winner. Friday at Madison, they got rained out. Saturday night at Dells Raceway Park, Mike Litchfield won in the late models. At Jefferson, Jacob Nottestad won. Dan, you were there, weren't you?
Yeah, a pretty decent race, and Nottestad had him covered. Once he got the lead, they couldn't catch him. But a good field cars and a pretty good night of racing. It was kind of cool to be there. Johnny Sauter's kid was there. Penn Sauter raced in the Bandoleros. He won his heat race and won his the last chance race. Finished somewhere mid-pack in the feature, but looked pretty good. I mean, he does a pretty good job of keeping a line as far as, apex and corners and stuff. It was kind of fun to watch.
Talk about a thoroughbred. There's your guy. At La Crosse in the NASCAR late models, they had twin features starting at 2 in the afternoon. Brent Kirchner won one of them. Steve Bachman won the other one. And speaking of fine young drivers, Jerry Guiley wins at Rockford Speedway in the NASCAR late models there. Last week at the Slinger Speedway, how about Rich Bickle winning the first race and the overall. Dennis Prunty won the other 50-lap feature. Congratulations to those guys. Both did great jobs. Ryan Gutneck wins in the late models. It is raining, not only here in Milwaukee, it is raining at Slinger. Today's Alan Kowicki Memorial Race has been canceled. And we will give you, if they're planning on making it up in the future, we will let you know. Next week It's Memorial Day weekend. We've got an 80-lap feature for you and fireworks for the first night race of the year next week.
Fireworks.
We'll be there next week for fireworks. Don't forget, today at Slinger Speedway has been rained out. So,
hey, Brian, you forgot a result there.
What did I forget?
Wilmot last Sunday night, the Diamond 43. Taylor Scheffler got the win in the Dirt Kings race. I've had some pretty tough competition.
That was an outstanding race.
We'll be back.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at WagnerAutomotive.com.
It's a red, white, and blue weekend of family fun as Road America hosts the NASCAR Cup Series July 1st through the 4th in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 4 huge days of stock cars featuring the NASCAR Cup, Henry 180 Xfinity, and Trans Am Series. Camp on site and catch every lap. Enjoy fan activities including autograph sessions and free family fun zone. And free admission for youth 16 and under. Get your printed home tickets today before they sell out at RoadAmerica.com. That's RoadAmerica.com. Come for the experience. Stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
It's going to be live.
Elliott's to the inside of Hamlin for the lead. It's almost 3 wide, exiting turn 6.
It's going to be loud.
Got multiple problems here. Turn number 8, Ty Dillon spins. Eddie Hamlin spins in turn 7.
And you know it's going to be authentically Austin.
Elliott gets to the inside, only washes up, and Chase Elliott will go to the point in turn 6.
The inaugural Echo Park Texas Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas.
Coverage starts coming up at 12:30 right here on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR, the Big 920 and Big920.com.
Not only did Tyler Reddick win the pole today, Kyle Larson will start outside of the front row. Austin Cindric, how about that for a qualifying run? Will start alongside Kyle Busch in the second row. Willie Byron and Joe Lowe will be in your third row. A.J. Allmendinger, one of those ringers, will start fourth row right along next to Chase Elliott, believe it or not. Ryan Blaney and Christopher Bell, your fifth row, and then Kevin Harvick and Alex Bowman, last week's winner at Dover, we should mention. And Dan picked that right last week, too. We're not real good at picking winners, but Dan did it last week. Today, I'm taking Christopher Bell because he won at the road course at Daytona. Ed, who you got?
I'm torn. AJ Allmendinger.
Okay. Ooh, how about that? Okay, Dano?
I'll go with Kyle Busch. I got the car number right this week. It's 18. I picked the 88 last week, which wasn't even in the race.
Yeah. There you go. And Brian?
I got my picks are twofold here. Chase Elliott probably going to win the race. He's one of the best road course racers out there. But a dark horse, I would not be surprised if Austin Cindric wins this race. I got both of them in my fantasy this week.
Oh, that's pretty complimentary to a young man who is not raced in these cars very much, but looks like they're getting ready to go. Yes, 143 green flag today, so should be interesting race, that's for sure. You mentioned that race the last time that Dave Blaney won, 1995. Ward Burton won at Rockingham that year. How's that for a note for you?
It's the year I graduated high school.
Really? 95?
Yeah.
Good God. Dan, there was a pretty big crash yesterday at Berlin Raceway. Boris Yurkovich was involved.
Yeah, it looks like two drivers actually got sent to the hospital in that wreck. Boris had some injuries to his legs, looks like people are reporting. And I'm not sure what how the other guy was doing. Was that Berlin? It was on the NBC's Track Pass, whatever that gold package. You could have watched it there. they had the super lates. It was at Berlin, and I'm trying to remember who won the race now. Oh, Cody Swanson won the race.
Okay. As we head towards the end of this program, we just wanted to say our best condolences to the Lampman family. The family matriarch, Debbie Lampman, passed away last week. And, she was just such a wonderful person, not just because she was involved with racing with her entire family, her husband Dennis and her son Tim that raced, but she's been around the racing scene for many, many years, and certainly had many people that loved her. And we on this program are among those who loved Debbie Lampman, no doubt about it. She was a sweetheart. She's going to be missed. Just a terrible thing to happen to her.
And Dennis's daughters are also been so involved in racing. I mean, they have husbands that work in the sport. They're promoters of the racing. They got, in fact, the sons come up here.
Grandchildren, Debbie's grandkids. You bet.
They come
those
up
little
there.
Trado kids, and they're great. They're really. It seems like they all have that Lampman gene, and they certainly are.
In fact, maybe one of them will be driving a super late, or at least a late model, at Slinger this year.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool?
That'd be fun.
Oh, yes, it would.
Yeah, Debbie was such a sweetheart. I mean, this woman fought so many different diseases over her life, and just held in there and stuck in there till the end. She is going to be greatly lost.
Yes, and our best to everyone in the Lampman family. And on a different note, happy birthday to Ted Dolan, who celebrated this week, the part-time Sheboygan County Fairgrounds super late model dirt racer. I say part-time because he had his car loaded up and ready to go and never went last night. Brian, it's probably a good thing, huh? A wreck fest?
Yeah, he would have had to have fixed some stuff and pound some sheet metal had he raced last night. So probably discretion was the better part of valor for him there.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Thanks for tuning into the program. We do appreciate it. Gentlemen, Ed, as far as strategy in today's race, are we looking for guys that pit early or try to get the most out of a set of tires that they possibly can?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, is that the fuel window would open with about 44 laps to go. Lap 44 of 68 is when the fuel window would open. That's with 25 laps left in the race.
Uh-huh.
Anybody that stops after that would have no problem with fuel. Now, if it rains, you could add more laps to that because you're not going to use as much fuel in the rain as you would if it was dry because you can't use the power. And there's so much moisture in the air that it makes more horsepower for what you do have, so you need less fuel to get the job done. But add miles to your tank with the rain. And so it's just going to be a hell of a strategy event as far as because the racing sucks. I mean, I'm telling you, folks.
Maybe the rain will make it better or more interesting there, Ed.
Oh, definitely.
Let's make it clear, Ed. It's because of the track, not because it's road racing.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, Watkins Glen is really good. Road America is going to be really good. Most of it's really good, just not on this particular circuit.
No, I mean, and there's at Elkhart Lake, there's so many, I say the trees in the forest, but I'm telling you, when the camera's panning a car at Elkhart Lake, you get the experience of speed because of what's flashing past in the background. This place is wide open. There isn't anything for the camera to focus on that gives you any idea of how fast or slow the cars are going.
Well, it's the first time. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's put on a good show. I'm going to say some rain would probably help their program today. So pray for rain in Texas, them too. And and let's hope it's a good race. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. And like we like to remind you, real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta. Our in-house engineer, website coordinator, and king of the knobs is Matt Hangover Losi. For all of us involved with the program, we appreciate our listeners. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll We'll see you next week, everybody.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.